Hey nerds, Sages here. So you might be wondering what I'm doing. Well, this is Tempest Trials, and well, we're going to be talking about something rather serious, okay? Usually I don't like to talk about politics or anything like that, but I figured now is probably a good time to at least address this, get a good idea of what I want to talk about, and bring it forth in a video that really kind of makes it important. Originally, I was going to use my webcam along with this, but unfortunately my webcam is not working, so oh well. This mostly pertains to people in the US, but if you're not in the US, you may want to listen in anyways, just to get a better idea of what's going on. Or you may have already have heard about it, or based on the picture in the thumbnail, you probably were already like, oh, he's going this route. Generally, this isn't Heroes related, but it will be related to Heroes or really a lot of other services if it really comes down to what might happen. It's very serious in the US because, well, we're going to be talking about net neutrality, and, you know, some people don't really understand what net neutrality is, but essentially net neutrality is the concept that the net should be open and free to everyone, no matter what. It should remain neutral. In that sense, where ISPs can't throttle things, you know, they can't throttle competition, they can't throttle anything that they might deem unnecessary, things like that. Before, I believe it was before 2015 in the US, we didn't really have net neutrality, and some ISPs were already technically going through a lot of stuff just to try and block certain things, like, I believe AT&T like blocked Facecam or FaceTime, made you upgrade their service unless you wanted to use it. Things like that. It's a weird one. But in 2015, under the Obama administration, there was a change from the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, which basically made it so that ISPs were now under a new title, which was Title II. Basically, Title II made it something similar to a utility, which technically, I mean, at this point, internet is basically a utility. Everyone uses it. I mean, people use it as much as water or electricity in their homes as well. You know, I use it personally because I provide, you know, I make and provide content on YouTube. And, you know, people use it for all sorts of things, from their jobs to their schoolings to all sorts of other stuff. So the internet basically became something along the lines of utility, and that meant that ISPs could not throttle anything. They were essentially made to conform to these rules. Unfortunately, though, with the new administration and a change of hands in the FCC, we now have a new chairman, and recently they have put forth a new well, a new idea, a new I forget exact terms of what it would be, but basically they want to revert this rule. They call it the restoration of freedom for the internet, or something like that. Essentially, they're going to undo Title II. And that leads to a lot of problems. Essentially, we're going to go back to the possibility that internet service providers will then be able to throttle speeds. And that is terrifying to a lot of people. Not only that, but to give you an idea of what has changed, with Title II, they were also meant to really expand their services, do upkeep on things. A lot of people who are in rural areas right now, you know, I know a lot of you in the US who are in rural areas. Some of you just recently got up to 5 megabyte downloads. That's congratulations, you are like in the lowest population of the world when it comes to download speeds and upload speeds. I apologize. That gives you an idea of how far along we are. A lot of you in other countries are probably going, what? But yes, a lot of the people in lesser density areas tend to get really low speeds, and they still cost quite a lot. And, you know, we're already losing that. We're already losing a lot of that when it comes to, you know, preparing and getting better internet for everyone. And now with this whole Title II, we are going to possibly get even worse. And the problem here is, essentially, what could happen to our internet is something along the lines of what happens with cable. To give you an example, you know, you could get the base ISP cost of where it's just like, oh yeah, here, you get internet. And then, you know, you get the internet, and then you realize that there's also additional packages, like, oh, hey, you want your YouTube and your Netflix to, you know, load a little bit faster? That's an additional $5 a month. Or, hey, look, you want to have social media? You want to talk to Twitter? You want to have Facebook? You want to do this? That's an additional $2 a month. And that is the essential nightmarescape that could, you know, could potentially come. It's happened in other countries. It's happened before with ISPs, and it could potentially happen again. And that's a terrifying concept. I feel that right now, with the US as it is, we really need to try and push for, you know, internet that is free and open for everyone, because otherwise, this could kill all innovation for those who are working in the US. And I'm not just talking about anyone who has a voice, you know, left or right, everyone gets hurt in this. Essentially, you know, if you have a strong enough voice, you could be cast out. If you have a new innovation on the internet or something like that, you could essentially be broken down because, well, you have competition. And the competition, of course, are already huge monopoly holders, so therefore they can destroy you. And that is a huge problem with a lot of what's going on in the US right now with ISPs. ISPs have sued, ISPs have done all sorts of naughty things, and this new chairman, Ajit Pai, is threatening to basically pull back the Title II, Title II, and, axe a lot of the internet. So I humbly implore you, if you like being on YouTube, if you like interacting with people on YouTube, or any other fashion, you know, your gaming, that can be affected. Your social media, that can be affected. Anything that you do, if you are in the US right now, can be affected by this new change that they're voting on later on in this month. I humbly implore you to check out the link in the description and consider calling your local representative. They will, at least I believe as congressmen or women, if you contact them, they can actually, hopefully, stop the possibility of the FCC being able to do something like this. Unfortunately, it seems to be a bit of a long shot that it might actually happen, but we do need people to reach out. Again, these are people hired by you. You know, us, the people, we hired them. We are the people who voted them into office. They need to listen to us. That's the idea of the democracy here. So, if you want to, go ahead and do it. It really does help out. Sign the petition that they have on that website. Of course, you know, it really does help out, and I really can't say enough how much it matters right now, okay? When it comes to fighting for the internet, we do need to have net neutrality. Otherwise, we are going to fall into bad practices that just constantly keep happening. So, again, battleforthenet.com is the website that I'm going to be posting in the description. I really humbly ask that you guys check it out. And if you do, you know, maybe even consider calling your congressman or any of those people who may be able to help out and voice your complaints, because you really need to have yourself heard. Otherwise, well, we're not gonna we're gonna be stuck with cable plans for internet. I'm kidding, but you know, I wish I were. I wish I were kidding. I don't know. Anyways, that was just the simple, just rant on this thing. Because right now, as much as I want them to restore freedom to the internet, I really don't want to pay more for my internet as it is. Especially if you are in one of those lesser known, cities, maybe out in the boonies yourselves. You're gonna have to pay for, additional fees. Hey, look, YouTube is an additional $5. Yay! Oh boy, I'm sure we're all happy about that. So, yes, that's just my rant on the subject, and I didn't want to talk about it, but here we are nonetheless. Net neutrality matters, and I really want you guys to put your foot forward. Whatever party you're part of, whatever side you're on, this hurts everyone. So, please, please don't let the corporations put themselves before you. Fight this, okay? All right, so that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Sorry I had to use heroes to be the kind of the stepping stool for it. I hope you guys don't mind, but that's just simply it. For now, nerds, I'll catch you all later. I'm gonna get back to work on some other things, so see you soon.